So I wanted to talk about the divisive language bill that was recently passed in Iowa. Under this bill, things that are deemed divisive or radical are not allowed to be spoken about in public spaces. Recently, that has resulted in students speaking about the George Floyd trial or the Derek Chauvin trial, students wanting to learn more about Black history being reprimanded in the school system. And I think this divisive language bill is very reminiscent of when the Panthers and folks were trying to spread political education, spread political theory, and they were not allowed to, own bookstores, or they weren't allowed to just build knowledge within their communities. I think it's going to have such a huge impact on the youth in schools because the youth are going to be so taken away from themselves and taken away from their history, and they're not even going to have the language to be able to speak to their oppression. And we know that language is very important to be able to articulate and name the struggle. And if you're not able to articulate what's happening to you, a lot of times it'll go unnoticed and folks won't know to rally behind it. And so in particular in places like Iowa, where there is a Black population, a pretty large Black population for the Midwest, I think, although there is a Black population, a lot of folks don't really know Black history there, and they try to still deny that oppression exists. And so the banning of divisive language, and then I also think too a lot about who gets to decide what is divisive, and a lot of times in school systems in Iowa, it's old white people who get to decide, who are typically Republican, typically conservative, and they get to decide that Black students learning about their history is considered divisive. And so it prompts me to ask a lot of questions. Well, why is Black people getting to know more about where they came from, what their ancestors did, and past to liberation? Why is that considered divisive?